Good afternoon, everyone. Are you a supervisor or a manager who's been wondering how to properly or more effectively develop your employees? Well, yours truly, the corporate enter trainer, has a tip for you today. Okay? Please allow me to introduce to you to what I call the KSA-EMJ analysis. From the word itself, this is an analysis which we do, okay, to determine what the root causes of their non or underperformance are, and then we focus on them, and then we offer corresponding solutions for them, okay? Please be reminded that KSA-EMJ analysis is divided into two groups, okay? KSA actually represents the internal factors, whereas EMJ represents the external factors, okay? Now, let's take a look into what all of these letters are for. All right. Number one, let's start with the internal factors. When we say internal factors, these are factors within a person, okay, that makes up the totality of a person. Perhaps the problem lies in any of these, okay? Number one, knowledge. Knowledge is basically what we know and how much we know, all right? Because perhaps the reason why they're not performing, or maybe not performing but underperforming, is that perhaps they didn't get enough training, or maybe they got the wrong training, or maybe they got sufficient or the right training, but the one who trained them, okay, was not able to fully educate, equip, or encourage them, okay? So it is very important that we look into the level or degree of knowledge that they have, okay? Now, if the problem doesn't lie there, perhaps the problem lies in their skill set, okay? So S there. So if knowledge is what they know and how much they know, skills is how well they can do what they know and how much they know, right? There are some people who, of course, are only knowledgeable, but they're also expected to be skillful as well, especially when you work in, let's say, manufacturing companies, all right? So take a look at their skills level. Probably the problem lies in there, okay? If not, then perhaps the problem lies in this one, their attitude, okay? There are some people who are knowledgeable and skillful, okay? So they know a lot and they're able to do very effectively what's expected of them. But because they lack or they don't have the right or proper attitude to be able to, well, not only remain happy, satisfied, or contented at work, but display, of course, the right work attitude and values expected of or from them by their line supervisors and managers, and especially the company, then they still wouldn't be able to perform in the sense that, they are performing at their best level or with, their 100% at work, okay? So try to look into or analyze. Probably the problem lies in their work attitude and values enhancement, which is attitude, okay? Now, there are some people who may be knowledgeable, they're very skillful, and, they're not a headache of an employee, meaning they have the right or proper attitude. But why is it that there are some cases in which people still leave the company? Or maybe they don't leave the company, they leave their boss, right? Or maybe they're not able to put their best foot forward, meaning they are definitely underperforming. So why is it? You've already looked into their knowledge, their skill, and or their attitude, meaning you have this assumption that probably you've already done your best, but why is it that they're still not reciprocating, all right, the standard or the expectation that you need or want from them? Perhaps you are failing to look into the other side of the big picture, all right, the external aspects or factors of the equation. So let us now understand EMJ. So what does EMJ stand for? Okay, EMJ, let's start with E. E stands for environment. When we're talking about environment, we're not just talking about the physical looks or feels of the office we work in. Okay, environment also stands for the quality of the supervisory or management support that our employees are getting, the quality of the people that they're surrounded by or working with in the office. Perhaps the problem is there, right? So we might want to look into whether or not they're working for equally educated, equipped, and encouraged supervisors or managers, or they're working with or surrounded by equally educated, equipped, and encouraged co-employees, okay? Now, if the problem doesn't lie in there, perhaps the problem already lies in this one, the level or degree of motivation or inspiration that they possess. Okay, motivation and inspiration are two different things though. When you are motivated, that means that, something inside of you is, willing to give your best at work. So if you're not able to give your best at work, probably you're demotivated. All right. So an effective supervisor or manager must know what the source of motivation of his or her employees are. And then he matches those, or he adjusts his leadership styles to make sure that those are addressed or those are catered to. All right. Inspiration, on the other hand, pertains to the person. All right. A person, a place, an object, or something else that inspires us. Meaning, if this pertains to a person that we look up to, we want to follow in that person's footsteps. We want to be like that person. We want to emulate what that person does and how well that person does what he does. All right. Perhaps the problem lies in the level or degree of your employees, our employees' motivation or inspiration at work. So we might want to look into that as well. All right. Now, last but not least, maybe it's not knowledge. Maybe it's not skills. Maybe it's not attitude. All right. Maybe it's not the environment they work in, or the quality of people they work with. Maybe it's not the level of motivation or inspiration that they have. Perhaps the motivation or inspiration is enough. All right. Perhaps it's this. All right. And usually this is the last element we might want to look into. All right. Whether there's a compatibility or there's a chemistry between the job and the person and the organization. What do we mean by that? There are some instances in which the attributes of the job, all right, do not match or are not compatible with the characteristics of a person. So if the job and the person don't see eye to eye, there's a likelihood that the employee will be demotivated or uninspired, or not as energetic as he or she should be to give his or her best at work. Or there are some cases in which it might not be job person fit. It's organization person compatibility. This means very simply that the vision, mission, and values of the person, okay, are not matching with the vision, mission, and values of the organization. So if there's a mismatch between the organization and the person, it's either the organization doesn't want the employee or the employee doesn't want the organization and just opts to leave. Okay? So there you go, guys. So this is what I call KSA-EMJ analysis. You want to develop your employees much more effectively, okay? Then you have to find out what the root causes for their non or underperformance are. And to be able to do that, you have to analyze this way. So I hope this helps you guys be better supervisors and managers for the sake of your employees. And please enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.